everybody. I'm Jelani.
And I'm Brooks.
And together we're Go Figure Reviews. We're going to do something a little different today. We are going to review something that Brooks will be explaining because I have no clue what it is. So it's called Amiibos.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's like one of the few figure things that I've collected over the years that nobody else ever got into.
Well, I mean, it's a thing though, so we're going to do it.
It's kind of a fad. It's kind of still going in a way, but it should be. It's interesting, I think.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to make content.
We'll delve into it. We'll learn.
Absolutely.
This is a learning experience.
That's right. That's right. And Brooks will be steering the ship, so I'm just here as a observer, and we will talk about.
I'll be your Amiibo professor.
Yes, I like it. I like it. Let's get to it.
All right, and here to start out, I thought I'd get my Mario Amiibos out of the way first, because he's the Nintendo mascot. Oh, yeah. And I also figured I'd throw in the Fire Emblem ones because Fire Emblem Engage just dropped, and I've been playing that a lot. So,
okay. So real quick, what are Amiibos, man?
Amiibos are just tiny little figures. They came out for the Wii during the era of the Wii U, when Super Smash Brothers Wii U came out.
Okay.
And so they started out as a Smash Brothers thing. Basically, like they're little tiny figures, but the little discs here, like they have some kind of information in them. So you put them on the thing, on the gamepad thing, and they do different things for different games. But in the Smash Brothers, like they were basically like you could train them to be fighters. Like each Amiibo would be like a character that you would train to fight, and you could level them up, and you could fight against them, or have them fight against each other, and all that fun stuff. But
okay, so they're like video game avatar things.
Yeah,
that you level up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you level them up.
At least the Smash Brothers ones are. They're the different ones for different games that do different things. Like they give you little bonuses or whatever. But mostly, like Nintendo is kind of not quite giving up on them, but they don't really utilize them as much these days. But back when they first came out, they were a popular collectible thing to get, which made a lot of them harder to get earlier on. But I've managed to collect quite a few of them, and this is just like a little sliver of my collection here.
Okay. Well, of course, we're gonna do more videos on them.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a mini series, like Lonesome Dove.
I love it,
but with tiny Nintendo characters.
I like it. You want to get started?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, so to start off, we'll look at my Marios here, and I'll start off with the man himself.
Got to pay his bills.
It's me, Mario. Wahoo! And each one of these Amiibos from the Smash Bros. Like you can tell the Smash Brothers one because they have the gold base with the Smash Brothers logo on them. And Mario here, like all of the Smash Brothers Amiibos, they take their poses from the intro screens of the characters. This is Mario, he's showing off his fireball, even though he doesn't have a fire flower and his coveralls aren't white.
Right. That is
curious. So like maybe he didn't need those the whole time.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just like ascended and he's become so powerful he doesn't need the fire flower anymore.
Yeah.
In Smash Brothers, he can use all of his abilities without power ups. Like he can use the cape. He can use the he can grow big, but only for a taunt. But yeah, so like maybe Mario is finally ascended past the need for paltry power ups.
He's godlike.
He has become the one true Mario.
Oh yeah.
And you can't have a Mario without a Luigi. And so this is Luigi. I hate this. I hate the pose they put him in.
What is that? Like
I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah.
It's so annoying to me. Like
it's like he's jumping up.
It's like all of these Amiibos have like these cool epic poses, and Luigi's he looks like this.
Yeah.
It's like, why is he doing that?
Is that his load screen?
Yeah, he's
just
well, it doesn't show him like it usually shows like the face and the but yeah, I mean this is what he looks like when you do his character selection screen.
Okay.
But I mean he's Luigi. You can see that he is, and
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mr. Second Banana there, Mr. Player 2.
Player 2, yeah. The little brother or sister choice.
Yep. And here's Toad.
Yeah.
Hi! Yeah, Toad was introduced, at least for me, in Super Mario Brothers 2, like the American version. And he is not a Smash Brothers character. He's, as you can tell by the base, which is not only red, but has this little silver thing instead. I think it's from I think it's from Super Mario 3D World set. So it doesn't have a, he isn't train, you don't train him as a fighter. He does something else. He like gives a little bonus.
Like support or something?
Yeah, he like give you a special item or something. Excuse me.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
How rude.
We'll cut that out. No, we won't.
Fuck it.
One take, baby.
That was Toad. Toad burped, not me.
That's right.
And here's a Yoshi, of course.
Yep.
And Yoshi is in Smash Brothers, but this is not the Smash Brothers Yoshi. This is the 3D World Yoshi, as you can tell by the little base. But yeah, he was introduced in Super Mario World, as we all remember, because we all loved the shit out of him when we played Super Mario World. Like, oh fuck Yoshi, except he couldn't go in a ghost house because he's such a coward.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be afraid too going to a ghost house, man.
And then the Super Mario World cartoon like made him like this like baby brain idiot. But I prefer to think of him as like as a courageous man or dinosaur.
Oh yeah, and he eats pretty much anything.
Yeah,
right?
He is Yoshi.
That's true.
And here we have, this was the first amiibo I picked up, which was Princess Peach. She is the Smash Brothers version, and she was from the first wave. Her and Mario were both in the first wave.
Does she have like cool powers and stuff? What does she do?
Yeah, she can she does the float thing like she could in Mario 2. She can when you jump, she can like float along for a short amount of time. She uses like various sporting equipment to attack for like smashes. So she'll hit you with a tennis racket or a golf club or a frying pan from like Super Mario RPG, which is pretty cool. And yeah, she was the first one. I was like, I'll just get the Peach one, and then that'll be that. And then of course that wasn't that.
Yeah, man, that's how it starts.
Of course it wasn't. Like, you'll buy more. And this is Bowser, of course. He's I believe in the movie he's going to be played by Jack Black.
Yes.
Wonder Boy, what is the secret of your power?
That's right.
So yeah,
comes out of the mucky muck.
Yeah. Castle made of clouds. It's actually kind of appropriate for Mario.
Yeah.
In the clouds.
It kind of looks like. He kind of looks like them too. Jack Black has
he has the eyebrows kind of.
Yeah.
But
that looks really good. I like that.
Yeah, he is pretty nice looking when he's Smash Brothers 2, of course.
Yeah.
With that spiky shell back.
Yeah,
you can't jump on him, dude, because like
he's got spikes on him.
He'd fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Legs, for example.
Yeah. He's tough though. Like that fall, he didn't even care, man. He's got his spiky things there. He was not the first wave. I think he was like the second or third wave. But yeah, I mean, he looks
pretty good. I like him. I think out of the group, I like him the most so far.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is pretty cool. Here we have. We can't have Bowser without the son of Bowser Jr. himself. Bowser Jr., who was introduced in, I believe, Super Mario Sunshine. That's the first game I remember.
Okay.
But yeah, he basically he made a fake Mario with a paintbrush that would go around like painting over things and like messing up Isle Delfino. And like he was in the coolest thing about Bowser Jr. in especially in Smash Bros. Ultimate is that his alternates are all the Koopa kids. So if you switch his skin basically you can change him into any of the Koopa kids, like Iggy or Lemmy or Wendy or any of those guys.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And they all ride around in an old clown car and they do the same moves, but they all
look different.
Yeah. They look exactly like the Koopa kids. So that was a fun thing about him. I don't know if they ever did like all of the Koopa kids as amiibos. I don't think they did, but like even if they, I don't want to know because I don't want to get. I don't want to
Like, I
dive
gotta
into
get those
that.
two.
Yeah, it's like, nah,
Buy 'em all!
it's like, nah, man.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
And last of all, we have Cat Peach. This is another Mario 3D World one. Mario 3D World is a fun game too. Like if you haven't played Mario 3D World, that game is fun, and it's a 2-player co-op game too.
Oh, okay. So you can like get your switches together. And
yeah, so you can play. You can play with your buds.
That's right.
Up to 4 of your buds. Like it has, you can play Mario, Peach, Luigi, and Toad. Are all the characters, and this is Peach in the cat suit power up, which is nice because like the cat suit is like it's probably one of the best new power ups that's been introduced in a Mario game in a while because you can like climb up walls and shit. It's crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, gotta have cat powers.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to have cat powers, dude?
True.
Cats are awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so these are different amiibos.
Yeah, these are a Fire Emblem amiibos. These are all from the Smash Brothers series. As you can see, they all have the gold base.
Oh, yeah.
They did release a couple of Fire Emblem amiibos that weren't from Smash Brothers. They did like a Alm Silica 2-pack. I never got because at the time I was mad because I could never find them. So I was like, fuck it, I give up.
Where do you usually find these?
Usually GameStop, which is the most reliable place. They used to sell them at Walmart too. Every once in a while on Target. Target is probably the place I've found them recently more than anything.
Okay.
But I don't walk into GameStop as much anymore. So
gotcha. Tell us about Fire Emblem.
So yeah, Fire Emblem is a turn-based strategy game by Nintendo. They've been doing it for a long time, but a lot of the earlier games didn't release over here in the States. They were like Japanese exclusives pretty much. I think they were going to put the second one, which is called Fire Emblem Gaiden, out in the US for the NES, but it never quite made it over. Like the first game I played in the series was for the GameCube. It was Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, which has this guy in it. This is Ike, who is the main character of both Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. Radiant Dawn was like a sequel game that they did for the Wii, which is the game. It was a follow-up to the one for the GameCube. But yeah, Ike is he's one of my favorite Fire Emblem mains in the series. He's kind of the main dude. And in Smash Brothers, his character is pretty awesome too. There's 2 versions of him as well. Like this is the adult grown-up version, but there's also like the a younger version of him from the GameCube game. But yeah, he's got Ragno there, which is his sword, and he's pretty.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I like these figures. They're very detailed.
Yeah, that like the amiibos are like really nice. I think that's like one of the allure of them is like how good they actually look. Like when you look at them, like there's so much detail. Like in a little armor, like you can see all the
the gold and cape and all
like
that
he's
stuff.
even got the symbol on the back of his cape.
Is it a Fire Emblem?
No, I don't think that. No, that's not the Fire Emblem itself.
I'm just saying, man.
don't speak of things of which you know nothing.
I don't. Not a clue.
You know nothing of it. Here we have Corrin, who was the main from.
Wait, that's a dude?
Yes.
Nice.
This is the male version of Corrin. There is a female version as well. He's a main, and like in Fire Emblem, in the game that he comes from, Fates, he's your main. You get to choose kind of what he looks like. You know, male or female.
Like, pick shoes.
Yeah. And his thing is he's like an exiled prince who ends up being raised by the family of his enemies, and like is like a whole drama. But he can transform into a dragon too. He's got like dragon blood in his veins, and he's also got a magic sword, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, if he turns into a dragon, he better have a magic sword.
I mean, you gotta have the magic sword too, and it's got like flames coming off it and shit.
It's pretty.
Looks like a fucking chainsaw. Called the Yato, I think, if I recall correctly. But yeah, Corrin, he's looking pretty good. I think they did a female version too, but like, and I would have preferred the female version to be honest. But I'm not gonna get into
Beggars can be choosers.
I'll take what I can get.
That's right.
And this is Byleth. He's another main from Three Houses, which was a more recent Fire Emblem game, which came out a few years back for the Nintendo Switch.
These are so clean.
Yeah, they are. They are really nice. Like especially like the flame effects on the sword look really cool. Like he's got his jacket. He's another main that you can like choose the sex, and well, you can't really choose the appearance, but you just choose like whether you get the male or the female version of.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like I end up with the male version, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, he ends up in the story of Three Houses. He's a mercenary who ends up being a professor at some like fancy monastery school that raises like the three heirs to three different kingdoms. As like I remember back in school, like half of my teachers were like former mercenaries.
Yeah,
it was just a regular thing.
Yeah.
NBD.
That's right.
And here we have Roy. I'm not as familiar with Roy, to be honest. He's from a game called The Binding Blade. It hasn't as yet to be released in the States, but he was in Smash Brothers. He's one of the first Fire Emblem characters in Smash Brothers. He was in Melee, him and Prince Marth. But he looks interesting. I wish Nintendo would release like all the Fire Emblem games in some form, like for the Switch or something. I think that would be really cool, but they won't do it unless they know they can get the money.
That's right. It's all about the cash, man.
The thing about Roy here is like he's got these cool ass bell bottoms.
Yeah, he does.
He's
hip.
Dude is a pimp, dude.
That's right. He's what the young kids like.
Yeah, he's got a fancy sword as well, but you can't really see it. He's got it behind his back, but it's fancy. You can tell it's fancy because it's gold. Yeah.
It's like he's ready to cut you up. Yeah.
And his sword, like, he's got a blade that like lights on fire too. Because of course. Like, you can't just have a regular sword. A regular sword when you have a fire sword? Shit. This here is Prince Marth. He's from the first Fire Emblem game, which was called like Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light or something like that. But yeah, I like Marth all right, but he's a very basic. I think he's probably like the most basic Fire Emblem protagonist. He is also an exiled prince whose homeland is taken from him, and he has to win it back. He's got the divine blade falchion in his hand, and the falchion is a blade that's kind of passed down through Fire Emblem games, and it's taken different forms. But this is the first form. It's kind of like a rapier. It's like a thin blade.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's Marth, the hero prince. And
pretty good too with his rapier.
Yeah, you got the nice cape, red lining. You got the symbol on the back of the cape, of course, because you gotta know where he's from. Here's this is one of my favorites. This is Lucina. She's from Fire Emblem Awakening.
It's a lady.
Yeah, she's actually a descendant of Marth. And she was the plot of Awakening involves time travel. So she's actually one of the main character's daughters from the future who travels back in time to save him from another character who is destined to betray him. But yeah, she's looking pretty good as well. She's like, her sword is also falchion. So apparently falchion. And she's like descended from Marth, so falchion has been apparently just handed down through generations, and apparently its appearance changes over time.
The wearer or something, or the user?
Like over time, it'll, I guess, evolve kind of like a Pokemon. It's like a Poke Sword.
Yeah.
And here we have Crom, who is Lucina's father.
Crom!
By Crom! Not that Crom.
Not that Crom.
Not the Conan Crom.
Right.
But he is Lucina's father. He's the one who needs to be saved from death. And he's also got falchion. And I like this guy, this figure. Like, the cape, man. I just love the cape on this thing. Like it's awesome, but at the same time, like it makes a problem when posing because like you try to put a figure next to him, like and like the cape is always in the way.
He's like, get out of here!
It's like, damn it, I have to turn him this way and like turn that. But yeah, Crom, he was a prince. He's a prince, but he's also like the leader of a group called the Shepherds. We're like basically like kind of travel around the land and like fight bandits and shit.
Mm.
So he's not like a pussy prince. He's like a fucking
he
dope
gets it
ass.
done.
He's a dope ass merc prince.
Yeah.
And last, this is Robin, who is the threat that Lucina is trying to save Crom from. He's the main from Fire Emblem Awakening. Like Lucina, Crom, and Robin are all from the game Awakening, and he's your main. You know, so he also has a female version you can choose. In the game, though, you have a little more customization with Robin than you do with most other characters. But in Smash, he's male or female, and Robin is like you start out he's like an amnesiac who gets found by Crom and the Shepherds, and they like take him into their group, and he becomes their tactician. But he has memory loss, of course. The old amnesia plot, of course. But
then he remembers who he is, and he's
yeah,
like,
but
I'm
then,
a killer.
And then Lucina shows up, and she's like, "You're gonna kill him," and like everybody's like, "Oh, we won't let that happen." And it turns out that like, they do manage to like cheat fate and save both Robin and Crom in the end. And it turns out he's a vessel for the Fell Dragon Grima, who is like one of the most dope Fire Emblem bosses ever because he's like a huge ass dragon with like 12 eyes and shit. And he's like huge. And in the end, you fight on his back.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
okay. These are pretty nifty, man.
Yeah, like the Fire Emblem ones, like are like they really show off how cool the amiibos are. That like you get a lot of the detail, like the buckle, all the buckles and the folds in the cloth and all the patterns and everything.
It's like a mini statue.
Yeah.
I like that, and the fact you can like put these in and like train them to be stronger and fight against each other.
Yeah,
that's pretty clean.
It is pretty fun, like just training them up and working with them. Makes it feel like a little more than a figure because as you can tell, they're not exactly posable. Like they have no points of articulation. Right. They're just like static figures, but they are neat. They display really well, and they also have that fun little bonus of the character thing.
Mm-hmm. So all in all, I got a better education of these Amiibo figures. One of these days, I guess I'll have to get me a Nintendo Switch and work this out.
No, you don't want to get into this one. You're better off. Like, but I mean, if you wanted to.
I mean, it seems like it's a fun thing to try. Yeah, and I don't play that many games. Yeah. So this is more your wheelhouse anyway. So thank you first of all for sharing these, man. Really appreciate it. Well, what are your thoughts? What do you think would be like a good thing to encourage people to get these?
Well, I don't know exactly. Like, I'm not sure exactly how. Yeah, I think you could probably find a lot of them for a decent price. Like, probably out of the box. A lot of people kept them in the box. So there was a big collector's market for them, which like frustrated me when I was trying to collect them because I'm not a speculative collector. Like I collect the thing to have the thing. Yeah. Like I don't care about like whether its value goes up or whatever. So when I try to find something and like it's rare because like speculators are buying up, it just pisses me off and irritates me. And that happened a lot with collecting Amiibos, but I did still manage to get like a pretty hefty chunk of them, regardless. And like, it's one of my collections I'm actually like a lot, and I'm glad I have them. And like if they release any more, I've still collected a few. Like I think Byleth was a pretty recent one. This fella right here was one of the more recent ones. He's probably the last one I got actually. Okay, but if you can find them for a good price, I would recommend it. But it's kind of one of those things like a lot of them were also like exclusives, like you had Target exclusives and all that. Yeah. which made me even more angry because then go to Target and like, oh, of course they're sold out, so I guess you can't get it. But if you can find them for a good price, like it's a fun little thing to have. Like if you're into games, like if you're into like especially Nintendo, like if you're into Smash Brothers or whichever thing, like they're fun little things to have. And like I thought the Fire Emblem ones would be a good one to add in because of the release of Fire Emblem Engage, which just came out like last week. And you guys should appreciate what I'm doing for you right now because like I'm not playing it right now just so I could do this video. I'm making sacrifices here.
Well, we appreciate it, man. Yes. So thank you for sharing a little piece of yourself, Brooks. We appreciate it here. And tell us, guys, what you think in the comments about these Amiibos. Let us know. Give us feedback because we're going to try to do more stuff like this in the future. Thank you again for watching and sharing. We're up to 103 subscribers right now.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So if you guys keep liking, sharing, subscribing, telling others, doing all this stuff, hey, we're going to grow this community. And thank you guys so much for watching. And once again, I want you to get out there and go figure.